Thank you. Thank you for joining this session and listening to my presentation. If you work or manage for a hot lane or manage a hot lane and you're again frustrated with the cheating, excess equipment, or even having to enforce that with police, this is the presentation that you want to listen to. What I'm going to talk to you about is really a different approach to enforcement, and that's using a smartphone app to accurately verify occupancy. We launched this in Atlanta a year ago with CERTA, and we're really excited about the results. The program there is called Peach Pass Verify. Before I get into the details of that, show you how it works, and show you how it can help you, I'm just going to show you a quick 30-second clip from a media story that came out in the news. This was a primary means for them to communicate to the users that this program was coming, so I just wanted to show you what consumers actually saw as they were preparing for this launch.
Well, if you use Peach Pass to carpool, you will want to hear about this. Next week, a new Peach Pass Verify app will be launching. It will replace the current function of the Peach Pass Go app that you might have. Well, Peach Pass Verify will require drivers to verify if you have 3 or more people in the car to qualify to use the toll lanes for free. So this is specifically for Georgia I-85 express lanes and I-85 extension express lanes.
So I want you to take away 3 key points from our conversation today. 1, CERTA is launched. It's a full deployment and it's very successful. And I'm going to take you through those results. Our next project is right here in Denver, where it's going to be the law of the land for HOV verification. As some of you may have seen as you were driving to the airport, there is an HOV benefit on the interstate. And this is going to be the way for people to accurately verify occupancy on those lanes as well. The second is this is fully integrated with roadside, and it can be integrated with a back office system as well, and it performs very well, and I'll show you how that works as well. And finally, it replaces that ancient switchable transponder that we hear all of our customers talk to us about and say, can you please get rid of this? We don't want to order anymore. So that's what it does. And finally, Moody's, John, talked about capacity and lane capacity. What this does is it mitigates stolen lane capacity, so really stops cheating. The best way that I can describe in 1 or less minute how this technology works is we replace the switchable transponder again with a smartphone app, but we use biometrics, image, to determine how many people are in the vehicle. It won't work with a picture, it won't work with a mannequin, it won't work with a video. What it will do is stop cheating right in its tracks. CERTA have got a slightly different program, what they had before they launched this. It is as well an honor-based system, but what you would do is you go on the web and you would self-declare. The problem is one of the functions on there was called indefinite. And what that allowed people to do is click once and forget. And I bet all of you can guess what happens when people have the option to indefinitely not be charged for tolls. So they knew this was a problem. So they wanted to understand the magnitude of the problem. So they hired Georgia Tech to really truly find out how many people are actually carpooling, 3+, just like here in Denver. And surprise, surprise, only about 0.5% to 1.2% of people during peak hours were actually carpooling. And their data, albeit it also includes transit and electric vehicles, because they can't separate carpooling, show that they were giving 19.6% exemptions. So the carpool number is still the largest part of that. But my point here that I'm trying to make is, again, no surprise, there's a big mismatch. And that's why they contacted us and contracted us with our technology to go full deployment, all in, 5-year contract, 1 year setup to launch our technology on their lanes. Let me talk to you about how it works. We work very closely with CERTA because we knew that this might be a heavy lift for users, right? Normally you don't have to do anything at all and save $20, $30 a day. Some people were in definite mode for 5 years, and now we're asking them to use a mobile phone. How is that going to work? And they asked us, they said, well, RideFlag, how configurable is your tool? Can we launch this in a phased approach so that we can educate people, train them, get them to first break through the barrier, condition them to use a mobile phone in order to declare their occupancy? And then once we do that, we'll turn on the camera. So that's exactly what we did. All of the steps are there that you have to take, everywhere from downloading to verifying your occupancy at the beginning and again at the end, and the option to turn the camera on when you want, to who you want, how often you want. To show you a flow, simple flow, so that you can see how it works, you're about to start a carpool, right? You open up the app, you'll state that you're carpooling. You say yes. You continue on your journey, you're asked to re-verify, and you're asked to whether you're carpooling again. That's the flow. The reason we ask them at the beginning and at the end is because with the camera, we want to make sure people aren't just doing this in their driveways, right? And not really carpooling with anybody. So this is the process. You do this at the beginning, you do this at the end, and you do it with an image. The only thing that changes in the technology is the screen, which is managed by the back office, which we control, that determines who, when, and how often that camera goes on. You can't cheat this system. It solves the problem. It's important to understand, too, that we build this both for consumer and agency performance. So from our side, we're very consumer-centric. We've got a strong UX design team. This is the only thing we do. We think about it every single day, and we listen to our customers to make sure that they're comfortable with the technology, that they're going to adopt the technology. Because if we're going to put this out, let's make sure it works. From an agency perspective, we know that every agency wants to do something different. Can you verify only at the beginning? Can you verify only at the end? Can you verify only once? We even have technology that will allow you to verify while you're in lane using voice technology. We have that flexibility built in. And it's so flexible, it's architected so that over 95% of the functionality can be just done by our back system and our designers, so that users don't have to re-download the app. And then the important thing, especially from a user experience side, is it's important to know that the job is never done. You always have to improve. Technology is always getting better. Sometimes you have to update the app every month, or even more often, to bring in new technology continuously. We're integrated with Roadside as well. I'm not going to talk about everything that we do at Roadside, but some of the functionalities include TVL, so that we make sure that people know what the status is of their transponder, their account. The second would be CRM. Make sure that we have a two-way communication with customers so they can reach out to us anytime if they have any problems. I will say this, with this technology and the way we designed it, we have yet to receive one consumer inquiry asking us how to make this work. That's consumer-centric user experience design. And real-time trip history. These are small things like, okay, we verified, I just want to make sure I'm not going to be billed. Can I just check on my account? Make sure it's there. Give me that confidence, especially as we start out. And a lot more functionality. I'm just sharing a few directly integrated with roadside, no equipment, seamless, and most importantly, doesn't allow people to cheat and gets rid of that transponder switch. Shifting to performance. The tool performs as, if not better, than designed. This is only one lane. We have over 20,000 users, active users. We do on average 85,000 monthly carpools with this technology. And most importantly, it's performing at near perfection, over 99.9%. And we're not finished. Leading up to this, we had a very successful phase 1 pilot deployment with the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, BATA. And we launched there what we call our Generation 3. We call it Gen 3 version, and that really helped us improve the technology, learn from it, not only for future phases with San Francisco and MTC, but help us with Atlanta. And what Atlanta's given us, albeit it's performing very well, is a strong base to move forward. And now we've built what we call Gen 5, which is more powerful, smarter, and ready right now. And I'm not going to get into all of the functionality that Gen 5 does, but not only does it perform better, but it offers so much more and opens up a world of opportunity to help commuting in different agency jurisdictions. I'm going to end this conversation where I began. I want you to take away 3 key points. This is not a pilot, this is not a demonstration, this is a fully commercialized product that works and that stops cheating. It's proven. Second, it replaces the switch, it completely integrates, we can prove that. Removes the need for any kind of roadside equipment for enforcement. Finally, that switchable transponder, let's get rid of it once and for all. This replaces the switch. And most importantly, it helps with stolen lane capacity, yes, and it stops cheating. Thank you very much.